So what are the threats to drinking water from wildfires? There's the immediate threat of burning infrastructure, whether it be a well house or a spring box or whatever is in our facilities. The piping, etc., melting. Plastic pipe doesn't hold up to the wildfires very well because they do burn real hot under the ground.
When a new fire starts, we get the maps, the updated maps every day from the DEM. And what we do is we have our interactive map. We also have our source water protection people, Melissa and Deidre, in the office. So we can take the information from those maps and determine what water sources are in the area. And we try to stay ahead of it by contacting the water systems and letting them know, hey, this might be a problem. You've got a spring up the canyon. This fire is moving that direction, very quickly. And give them some time to prepare. They might, in the case of the Trail Mountain fire, they were able to get in there and clean out the collection area from any, timber, deep-rooted vegetation. And also turn the springs out, because if the fire hits, you don't want that, any contaminated water into your system. So they usually turn out the spring, and we can help systems with advice on what to do, when to do it, samples they might want to take before and after the fire, just to make sure there's no contamination.
There's a secondary threat to with the debris flows and all that are associated with wildfires and the monsoon season that we usually have. Usually they follow quick afterwards, and the soil hasn't had enough time to recover, and the water just rolls right off the soil and creates big, they call them mud flows or debris flows, that will once again take the facilities out.
In the case of Panguitch, they have, ever since the fire last year, they have positive E. coli samples every time it rains. So their springs were damaged by the fire to the point where they can't use their springs now because of the E. coli contamination. So the other story of Panguitch, after the fire last year, they drilled an emergency well. So when the situation happened this year, where they had the debris flow went into their spring box, they called us and said, we're about 2 weeks away from an operating permit. Can you help us out so we can turn this well on? Ordinarily, you can't, start a new source without all the, plan approvals, operating permits, all that kind of thing. So we were able to expedite that. We got Marie to sign off very quickly to get their permit approved so they could turn their new well on.
It's the public's trust in the water systems. Flint, Michigan is a good example where they don't trust the water system. And that's, we don't ever want to have things like that here. We want people to be able to pick up a glass and take a drink of water out of the tap.